Welcome back here on FloatHSFootball.com as we continue to interview coaches from around the Sunshine State that are playing in the state championship games over the next 2 weeks between Tallahassee and Fort Lauderdale. I'm Josh Wilson here coming to you, and we're going to talk to a team that has the third time is the charm now to get to a state championship game. That is in the First Baptist out of Naples, the Lions there with head coach Billy Sparacio joining us here. Coach, I definitely appreciate you joining us here. I know that there's a lot of excitement for your program and everything, but let's talk first. Yeah, you built this program from the ground up. You started in 2009. You've been the program 14 years. You're also the school athletic director. Talk about the being able to build this program up and to get it to where it is at now, being able to play for the school's first state championship, and in the 14 years history of this program, being able to play for the first time in a state championship game. Talk about that and just being able to build this program up.
It's awesome. It's been an incredible blessing. It all starts and stops with what we stand for as a school in Christ and the kingdom education. And what God has done on this campus has been unreal. Over the last 14 years, has been amazing. A lot of great people came in. I know I get a lot of the credit for it, but there's a lot of great people who have sacrificed a lot to get us where we are today. So a lot of great coaches, a lot of great supporters of the athletic program, not just football. So we're very, very blessed here.
Looking at all that with everything with this program and all that, you're a small school, you're in Naples, you're in an affluent area. So talk about having to be in that part, having to build this again, build it from the ground up, and having to get these being able to have players because you're competing against schools against Naples and other bigger schools in the area where they have football rich talent. So being able to develop your own guys, in that talk about being able to, in that thing of being a small school program, because I know that's got to be much different than when because I know you had some years at Barron Collier. So talk about that, the difference between a bigger public school versus being a smaller private school in that area.
Yeah, before I came to First Baptist Academy, I spent 10 years in public school, 4 years at Laley, and then 6 years at Barron Collier High School. And it is a talent-rich area. Lee and Collier County have lots of kids every year go off and play college football at a very high level. So a lot of good ball here, a lot of good competition, and it was. It's tough at a small private school, because, every year it's not like you have 1,500 students that are going to come to your school from various middle schools. But it's unique in that you get families who are attracted to your school because of what that school stands for. And for us, the Christian education is first and foremost, it's the foundation of everything that we do. So, if those families want that to be a part of their child's educational upbringing, then it's a great fit for you. And we all know that in private school, you need to have a successful athletic program, and that's something that is it's needed, but at the same time, it's what we love. It's what I love. So coming here as an AD and starting high school athletic program and basketball and volleyball and everything else is a great challenge, but it's what we love to do. So it's been tough, but at the same time, very gratifying. And like I said, I just been really, really fortunate to have some great people that still coach here, have coached here from the start. And we're just trying to continue to get the best people we can to come to our school. But it comes back to the foundation of who we are and what we stand for as a school, and then people get attracted to that, and then it's usually a great fit for us.
No, absolutely, and of course, going to be playing in the Class 1S State Championship this Saturday, 1 o'clock at Gene Cox Stadium in Tallahassee against Trinity Catholic out of Ocala. But Coach, let's talk about your team here because your team it's built around a really kind of a balanced offensive attack. So let's talk about that first. Your guys, especially Richie Million, who has really been your guy. He's been your guy the last couple of years. He's really racked up numbers, Division I offers. Talk about being able to have a guy that really has stood out for you. Over the last couple of years, an all-state player, being recognized across the state, but not only that, but nationally. But talk about your offense here first. And what they have done for you so far this year.
Yeah, Rich has done a great job, and believe it or not, Rich has been here since he's a freshman. his freshman and sophomore year, he played quarterback for us and probably scored 80% of the points on our team. He's just a great athlete. And played quarterback for us and did great things. As he developed as a football player, we moved him actually last year over to the defensive side of the ball. Did a lot on offense as well. Played receiver, but played a lot of defense for us too. And then this year we moved him like really 100% on the defensive side of the ball, and then started to use him here and there throughout the season on the offensive side. He's a great talent. We're blessed to have him. He's a great football player, but he's a better person than he is a football player, and that's what I try to tell everybody, because it's the truth. Just a great kid, easy to coach. He works extremely hard every single day, and since the time he was a freshman, all the way up until now, competes like crazy in practice, has fun while he does it, creates a lot of great positive energy for the rest of the team, and we're blessed. You mentioned Rich, so that's who we're talking about, but the Olsen Henrys, Michael Vadas, Jameson, Jose Cintron, these are kids that have been with us since their freshman year that have just been incredible practice players. Just come to practice every day with a smile, ready to work, improve at their craft, and they're fun to coach. They really are, and very competitive kids. So Rich is a super talent and gets a lot of attention, obviously deservingly, for all that he does. But we got a lot of really great kids that kind of developed this great culture that these kids have had for the last 4 years. Now their senior year.
Now, let's talk about your quarterback, Ethan Crossan, and you mentioned Olsen Henry. I mean, you talked about him. I mean, his numbers, in 11 games, played so far, 61 catches, 1,159 yards, 13 touchdowns. Those are some big numbers even for 11 games. I mean, talk about that. The connection that your quarterback and Henry has between both of them. I mean, because that's huge right there especially when you're trying to get the ball downfield, and especially when you're going to go up against a team like Trinity Catholic, who has been there with their coach before here. So that's going to be necessary to be able to strategize against around their defense.
Yes, Olsen's a great talent. Again, very passionate football player, tough competitor, and has done. His skill set is unique and special. So he's been a real game changer for us over the last couple of years. Ethan has really done a great job. Ethan Crossan has done a great job stepping up into the role of quarterback. Within his style and skill set, we are able to do some great things. So there's enough weapons that Ethan is surrounded by, that he's able to distribute the ball, and he's a heck of an athlete himself. So we just ask him to play within himself, get the ball to those guys that can make big plays.
And with all of that, you're asking, I mean, we talked about mostly with the defense, what about Rich as well, because that's where a lot of the defensive stats are sitting out on his side right there when you look at the defensive side of things. But 20 and a half sacks this year for y'all on defense as well. So at 11 games, but looking at this, you're going up against Trinity Catholic. Their head coach has been here before, has been able to do this. So what, how do you again prepare for this game? Going against a team that has been there, a program, a coach that has been there before, and this is the third time's the charm for y'all to finally get in. And I'll ask you on the flip side of that as well, what your thoughts on with the whole Metro Suburban split, because last year y'all were knocked out by Champagnat Catholic in the process of getting playing in your second state semifinal in school history. So this time, finally the third time the charm, what are your thoughts on that Metro Suburban split? So if I need to repeat it, I'll repeat it when answering the question.
Well, I'll start with the Metro Suburban split. It's actually our fourth time. Made it in 2012, made it in 2016, made it in 2021, made it in 2022, and got there this year. So it's actually our fourth time. Getting to this spot. First time getting to the state championship, but we were able to get to that final. A few more times, but it is what it is. The state, decided, or whoever the powers that be decided, that this was the route that we were going to go. And, you play the teams that you're told by the state to play, and do the best you can to get to yourself in a position to play for a state championship. Last year we played Champagnat Catholic. We played Champagnat Catholic again, many times earlier in playoff runs that we've had. They were a great team at the time. and it is what it is. I think we have a really good ball club right now. So, I can't control whether we're still 2A, 3A, 4A, or we're going to be 1S, 2S, and Metro. That's kind of some of the things that you just got to kind of deal with and roll with the punches. I liked personally being able to play all the schools that are your size throughout the state. But again, it's and what they decided on is to go metro suburban split, and that's what we're doing. And we're going to do our best to reach our full potential. The second part of your question was, Trinity Catholic, and obviously they've been there before. Their coaches and program is very, very successful. But obviously you know what you're going up against. I think having been in this situation, in playoffs in the past, once you get to this Final Four, sometimes Final 8 or whatever, some of the schools that you might draw is tough. All the way through, anybody that you play in the Final Four is going to be a really good ball club that could probably go all the way. You just got to take advantage of the opportunities that you have, limit your mistakes. Hopefully everybody stays healthy. That's a huge thing that sometimes teams, it's tough, man. We've been there and played against Cambridge Christian a few years back and just weren't ourselves. We had guys banged up. So, there's a whole lot that goes into it. But Trinity is a great ball club. They are very well coached. They got their share of athletes. They got great size, speed, strength. From top to bottom, they got it all. So it's a great opponent. They've had a great season. They've had great seasons over the past. Like you said, they've been there. So our thing is you know who your opponent is, but you got to control, or you got to be really, really super focused and on just reaching your potential. That's what I tell our kids all the time. Just play your game, do your thing, don't worry about anything else.
No, that's awesome, and I'm assuming with the game thing, y'all. When are y'all going to leave? Thursday, Friday to head up to Tallahassee? I know it's a long journey. It's a long hike up I-75 then the I-10. So what's the kind of little bit of the itinerary for y'all for the first time getting to a state championship game?
Yeah, well, fortunately we've done some traveling, so we're pretty experienced at that. We went to Georgia last 2 years. I went to Georgia and played a team. 2 years ago, last year we went to Boston and played a team out of Boston. And this year we went up to Michigan and played a team out of Ohio, Michigan area. So the traveling, that's been good. It's been giving our kids a chance to have to deal with some of the different things and the struggles and trials of, like staying focused when you got all this travel in front of you. But we'll leave on Friday morning and kind of split the trip up, maybe go about 3.5 hours, get some lunch, take a break. Walk around and then go the rest of the way and then get a good night's sleep and be ready for Saturday.
No, absolutely. And of course, that Saturday 1 p.m. kickoff at Gene Cox Stadium against Trinity Catholic. Coach, I definitely appreciate you taking some time here and talking to us with the thing. And we'll see you Saturday afternoon at Gene Cox Stadium in Tallahassee for the Class 1S State Championship.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys covering us and looking forward to seeing everybody.
No, appreciate it, Coach. Thank you so much. That was Coach Billy Sparacio from Naples First Baptist joining us here on 4HSFootball.com. Appreciate him just stopping by and talking the First Baptist Lions in their first appearance in a state championship game. We definitely appreciate him stopping by. And, of course, we'll have more interviews with the coaches and more stuff with content coming up with the state championship games here in Tallahassee this week and, of course, Fort Lauderdale next week for the other 5 classifications that are playing. So we'll see you next time here on 4HSFootball.com.